Hi there, my name is Brooke Adams. I have prepared a presentation entitled Mandating the Shot, and it allows us to take a look at some of the responsibilities that healthcare professionals uphold, as well as why people are and aren't in favor of the COVID-19 shot becoming mandated. So, begin by understanding the controversy. So, healthcare professionals are responsible for serving people from a variety of backgrounds, primarily people that are vulnerable. These people may be elderly, they may be immunocompromised, or perhaps their children, especially those that are younger than 12 years of age. So let's take a look at people that are in favor of the mandate. So, healthcare professionals, in this instance, particularly nurses, have an ethical duty. Um, in a document published by Rutgers Nursing, the American Nursing Association's Code of Ethics has a provision in it, and it's provision number 2 that describes the nurse's commitment to the patient. And in this provision, it states that the nurse's primary commitment is to the patient, whether an individual, family group, community, or population. And this just underscores the importance that healthcare professionals have in putting their patient before absolutely anyone else. So let's go ahead and take another look at another opinion on why people feel that the mandate should be enforced. So the Mayo Clinic published an article entitled COVID-19 Long-Term Effects in 2021. And in this article, it summarized some of the complications of acquiring the COVID-19 virus, some of which include memory problems, concentration problems, heart problems, chronic kidney impairment, and stroke. This is particularly important to understand that if people who work in healthcare are not vaccinated and they acquire the COVID-19 virus, and perhaps they suffer these consequences, say like a stroke, they're not going to be able to go in and provide care to other people, whether those people be in an inpatient or outpatient setting. And it's important to realize that there's only so many healthcare professionals within the United States, and that perhaps if all of them suffered the adverse effects of this virus, then who would be left to care for those that are in need? It's important to realize that at some point we wouldn't have any other professionals, or that perhaps the burden would become so heavy on what few that we had left that they would perhaps quit the profession and seek other professional employment. So that is why some people are very in favor of this mandate. They feel strongly that if every healthcare professional gets the shot, then it's a safeguard to ensuring that we have enough healthcare professionals to continue to take care of those that are in need. So let's go ahead and take a look at why some people are not in favor of the mandate. The FDA published emergency use authorization for vaccines and explained an article that entailed some of these steps that vaccines have to go through before they're widely available. And within this, they discuss the 3 phases that vaccines typically go through. However, it's important to understand that the COVID-19 vaccines, they did not progress through all 3 stages of these trial phases before they were made available to the public. They advanced through the first and second stage and continued advancing through the third one after they were made publicly available. It's important to understand that this happened this way because the vaccine was determined safe early on. It was an emergency situation, so they didn't feel that it was necessary to do the 3rd phase. However, if they note that bad things are happening with the vaccine, they're hurting people, then obviously the governing bodies are going to pull the vaccine, make amendments to it, and then relaunch it to preserve the safety of the general public. So another opposing view on this mandate is that the CDC published a webpage called the COVID-19 Vaccination that described some of the possible side effects of the vaccine and how they might outweigh the benefit of the shot. And it describes some of these side effects as anaphylaxis, thrombosis with cytopenia syndrome, myocarditis, pericarditis, Guillain-Barré syndrome, and occasionally reports of death. However, it's important to understand that these happened so rarely. It's not a big deal, but because they still happened, governing bodies are still required to inform the general public that, yeah, they could actually happen. However, the more common effects associated with the vaccine are just like in pain or discomfort at the vaccine incision site, which that's to be expected and furthermore anticipated with any other kind of vaccine. Here I have incorporated a reference page with where I obtained all the information that was presented within this presentation. I want to conclude by relating this information to my personal life. As a geriatric nurse, I am responsible for caring for the elderly, which, as we previously discussed, is a very vulnerable population. And I feel a personal as well as a professional and ethical duty to try to preserve the health of these elderly people. So I have personally went ahead and got my COVID-19 vaccinations as well as the booster shot. I want to thank you for taking time to listen to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.